welcome to the Cintas Center on the campus of Xavier University for this crosstown matchup between the Miami Redhawks and the Xavier Musketeers. Kenny Schierlinger alongside with Hans Juste here as we made the trip down to Cincinnati to get this 102nd meeting underway between Miami and Xavier. Hans, very exciting to be here, as everybody else is, as we're about to get this one started.
Yeah, I'm super excited. We got a hopeful team in the Redhawks today. Like you said, it's their 102nd meeting, and I think they're a team that believes they can win, even though they're in a tough matchup playing Xavier tonight.
Absolutely. It's definitely going to be tough for Miami. I think the key to the game for Miami is to keep Xavier in a half-court offense here, as they can get out and get going very, very good there. And they go down the court very fast. So Miami's going to have to keep them in front of them and slow Xavier down and try to stay in this game. And you never know. Miami's got some playmakers, and they could definitely get after it and maybe come out of here with a win.
Yeah, and you're exactly right with Xavier loving to push the ball in transition, and they got multiple ball handlers. Someone to watch is the forward with Marshall. He's going to be somebody who has the ball a lot. He leading the team in assists with 4, and right behind him is Gooden, who's got 3.8 assists as well. So they got multiple people who's going to be able to pass the ball, run out in transition, and be a threat.
So we're going to get underway as Delonte Brown's going to tip it off for Miami, as he's going to be facing Najee Marshall, who's going to be a big factor, as Miami's going to have to deal with the size that Xavier presents tonight. As we got a really full crowd here at the Cintas Center. Big student section behind the baseline over by the Miami bench. So it's going to be a tough atmosphere for Miami to come in, not something that you typically see in the MAC. As Miami wins the tip, and Darian Ringo is going to take it up the floor and get it to his backcourt, as they're going to work it around. Ringo is going to drive and kick to Delonte Brown, who's going to drive. Ringo in the corner now. Pump fake, get into the lane, kick it out to Bam Bowman for the 3, and it's good. Yeah. Miami gets on the board right away, 3-0, as that's exactly what you want if you're Coach Jack Owens trying to get a big-time victory for his program.
Yeah, and Bam is the big on this team, but he feels very comfortable shooting those long-range 3 balls. So if it's open for him, he's definitely going to shoot it.
Quentin Goodwin takes it down the floor, the point guard for Xavier, as Xavier's going to work it around. Paul Scruggs, the prolific scorer for Xavier, dumps it down low to Jones, who's going to go to work on Bam Bowman in the paint, as he's going to have a little trouble going up with that, but he gets the scoop and score to go, as Xavier gets on the board for the first time tonight. 3-2 here, as Darian Ringo's going to walk it up the court. Miami looking to answer the quick bucket answer from Xavier. Bam Bowman's going to catch it to the top of the key, give it down to Delonte Brown in the paint as he scoops and scores, as Miami getting off to a pretty fast start here on the offensive side of the ball.
And Delonte Brown has definitely taken a huge surge on the offensive role for Miami. He scored 8 points last year. He's more than doubled that, scoring 17.5 points a game per contest this year.
As we're going to get a quick whistle here, and this is going to go against Darian Ringo, who's trying to hedge a screen there, as that's going to be the first foul of the night here at the Cintas Center.
And Ringo's a guard who's definitely going to go out on the defensive end, so getting that first one, we'll see how his aggression kind of changed in the early going of this game.
Quentin Goodman's going to get Xavier all lined up, set up, as they're going to work it around, trying to work it down low and working on Bam Bowman there with Tyreek Jones. Marshall's going to get into the lane and throw that ball away. It's going to be Miami's ball on the baseline as they look to extend their lead a little bit more. Up 5-2, 3-point lead at the 18-minute mark in the first half here at Xavier. Ringo's going to look for a high ball screen from Bam Bowman. He's going to dump it across the court to Nike Sabani for 3, and that's off the back of the iron. Rebounded, batted around, out to Darian Ringo, who's going to get Miami a fresh set game clock there, as Ringo's going to drive, and he's going to back it back out. Think twice about it there, as he's going to try to get Miami set. Looking for another high ball screen with Bowman. Kick out to Bowman for 3, and that one's off the back of the iron no good. Rebound Xavier as they work their way up the court. We haven't seen Xavier get out and run yet, as a 3 by Goodwin is no good. Rebound Delonte Brown.
Yeah, and I just think they're getting an early feel for the game right now, and I think Miami's been setting the tone with the tempo so far. So if Xavier wants to take control of this early going of the game, they'll definitely see them running out in the break.
Sabani's going to work on Marshall. Crossover, nowhere to go. Now he gets away in the paint, goes up for a jumper. It's partially blocked, but caught by Bam Bowman as he lays it up and in. Bam Bowman with a quick 5 points already. Miami up 7-2 at the 16:50 mark in the first half.
Yeah, and Bowman's just been active, especially off the block on that one, and he has a big defensive assignment today right now, and he's had an early going right now.
And speak of that, he forces Jones, the jump hook, to be no good. Rebound by Miami. Here comes Darren Ringo down the floor as he gets a charging call called on him. On the charge, taking the charge there is Quentin Goodwin, junior from Campbellsville, Kentucky.
And that'd be Ringo's second foul, I believe, of the game. So I think we might see an early bench substitution for the Redhawks.
So Darren Ringo's going to exit the game. In for him is Makai Larry, the freshman, getting some PT early here at the Cintas Center. Get a 3, and it's good. Najee Marshall knocks down the big 3 for Xavier and pulls them within 2 of Miami, as the freshman Larry's going to bring it up the court now for Miami. Working around the screen. Now they got it down low to Bowman, who's going to go to work on Zach Hankins, a graduate transfer from Ferris State, as he picks up the foul. So Bam Bowman's going to go to the line for the first time tonight. And we're going to get a media timeout here at the 15:52 mark. We'll stay with you here. You're listening to Redhawk Radio, as we're happy to bring our first basketball broadcast of the season to you. And it's a big one here. A renewed rivalry in the area, as Miami and Xavier have battled it out many years in the past.
Yeah, it's like you said, it's a renewed rivalry. But also, I just like to highlight kind of like the young coaching display we have here. Jack Owens in his second season at Miami. A pretty iffy season, like you'd say. A little bit below 500, going 16-18. But this is actually Travis Steele's first year for Xavier. So we got 2 young coaches. Kevin, a little bit of a battle, and we'll kind of see who can come out on top today.
Travis Steele taking over for Chris Mack, who departed this past offseason for Louisville, as he was the coach in waiting here for quite some while. Travis Steele, the stepbrother of John Gross, who was the Ohio coach for a little bit, took them to the Sweet 16. He was promoted to University of Illinois for a while, and then ended up getting fired from there. Now he is in the MAC coaching at Akron. So good coaching family here, as they're very familiar with the area, as Travis Steele from Indianapolis. And you can see is both of these guys, Jack Owens and Travis Steele, have Indiana roots.
Mm-hmm. And Steele's been with the program for a while now. He started just as a assistant coach in 2008. So he's been around the program for over 10 years, and he's seen a lot of the success that Xavier's had lately with all their national tournament bids and the Elite 8 they had in 2017. So he's seen a little bit of the turn of the university, and is hoping for many more. So as is Jack Owens with the Redhawks.
Yeah, 2 promising programs here. Xavier making the leap to the Big East a couple years ago, and Big East is always a big basketball conference in the college basketball world, with the likes of Butler and Marquette, all the big boys. So Xavier, definitely a big basketball brand in the Cincinnati area. So it's tough for Miami to compete a little bit here, but the competing so far so good, as they're up 2 points here at the under 16-minute mark. This game is also broadcasted on FS1, but we're glad you're listening here on Redhawk Radio on YouTube Live.
And the lead they have right now is 7-5, a lot to do with Bam Bowman. And as a big man, he is very reliable at the line. Like last year, he led the Redhawks in free throw shooting, but this year, so far, he's shooting around 89% from the stripe. So if you're going to foul someone, unlikely hero would be Bam Bowman because he's very reliable at the charity stripe.
So Bam Bowman averaging 8.5 points per game, already up to 5 with that made free throw, as he's going to be a big factor so far because Miami doesn't have the biggest front court in the nation here, and they're going to have their hands full with these guys, as Zach Hankins has checked in for Xavier. Like we mentioned, 6'11", grad transfer from Ferris State, and he is definitely their spark plug. He had a very good game against Wisconsin, as Xavier and Wisconsin battled it out here at the Cintas Center a couple weeks ago, and Wisconsin got the best of them as Ethan Happ had a career-high 30 points against Xavier. So the big man here at Xavier doing well, as Zach Hankins gets it to go, working his way in the paint, as Miami still holds on to a 1-point lead. Makai Larry bringing it up the floor for Miami, gets it out to Bowman, swinging around to Attaway, looking for Bam Bowman down in the paint as he's going to go to work, and he got it, and good. So Bam Bowman gets on the board once again, and Bam Bowman's really got 7 of Miami's 10 points so far.
And on that last possession, that was just great footwork. You saw the defender slip a little bit, and he took acknowledgement of it and was able to get the bucket.
As that three is good there from Xavier. Keontae Kennedy knocks it through. Larry's going to slow it down a little bit here. Miami in no rush on offense, running through their sets, as Nike Sabani is going to go to work at the top of the key. Crossover, get into the lane, dump it off to Bowman. Loose ball, Bowman finishes it down low for the bucket. Miami gets out to the lead again. 12-10 here at the 14-10 mark in the first half.
And Nike's such a dangerous scorer, but you're seeing he's able to create on that last possession. So
another three there for Xavier as they get out to their first lead of the night, 13-12 here, as Miami's going to have to get out fast on these Xavier shooters as they're long and they can get it to go, as it's tip up and no good. Third time's a charm there for Nike Sabani as Miami answers right back. Getting back on defense, Xavier gets down the floor quick as the shot goes up, and it's going to be a foul there on Quentin Goodman. He's going to go to the line for the first time tonight for Xavier.
And Bowman just being a little bit too aggressive on that one. He was late and he wanted to get the block, and I believe that's his first foul of the night. And with Bowman playing so well, I wonder if we're going to see a lot of playing time from Alex Abrams. We're talking about having a lack of height. He's our big boy at 6'8" and 250 pounds.
As Gooden gets that first one to go. Gooden averaging 15 points per game, 3.8 assists per game. So pretty good scorer and can dish the rock a little bit too, getting it done here at the free throw line as he's got one more free throw from the charity strike.
And Alex Abrams has entered the game, so we'll see a different big man for the Redhawks.
So second free throw is good. Xavier gets out to a 1-point lead once again as Makai Larry's going to take it up the floor. We haven't seen Ringo since he's picked up his 2 fouls as the ball is loose on the floor, scrummed down on the floor as Hankins went down, and jump ball is going to be called, and looks like the possession area is going to go Xavier's way. So Xavier's going to take over there at the 13-24 mark in the first half.
And that's just examples of the risk that you're going to see from a freshman guard in Makai Larry. An undersized guard, too, who has a scorer's mentality. So just trying to get into the gaps of the defense and causes a kind of costly turnover for the Redhawks.
Larry's going to apply some pressure there, full court pressure on Gooding, trying to mix things up a little bit there, slow him, make him think about Joe Malone as they're going to drop it down to Hankins. Hankins going to work on Abrams, just entered the game, and Hankins gets that one to go off the glass, and it's good. As Xavier pulls out to a 3-point lead now under the 13-minute mark here in the first half.
And then Redhawks not showing a lot of help on that post defense. Once Xavier's got them one-on-one, they can kind of do whatever they want in the post position.
Attaway throws up the jump hook. That's no good. Xavier down the floor quick. A 3 up on the way. Rebound Abrams. Elias Harding there on the 3. No good as Larry works it down the court quick. Gets it out to Attaway in the corner. He's going to think about the 3, but push it back out. Lonte Brown's going to drive and kick it to Haruna, who's going to try to drive into the paint, but travel. So Xavier is going to pick up the ball once again, trying to extend their lead out to a 17-14 lead now at the 12-21 mark of the first half.
And I just like Brown to continue to be aggressive in the run that he's had early on in this season. He kind of took that pump fake, but I would have loved to see him kind of drive and allow for more opportunities for his teammates, and maybe then kick out to Haruna for an open 3.
Entering the game here for Xavier's Keontae Kennedy, freshman from Westlake High School in Austin, Texas, originally from Colorado. He's going to dish it off to Elias Harding. He's going to then dish it off to Gooding, who's going to work on Larry. Down low to Jones, who's going to go to work on Abrams as they seem to be attacking Abrams in the paint. Abrams goes and fouls. Kind of looked clean there, but they're going to call foul as we are at the under 12 timeout here at the Cintas Center. So we're going to take a quick break. Miami down 17-14 early here as Xavier has regained the lead and are looking to expand. Welcome back here at the Cintas Center as Xavier's jumped out to a little bit of an early lead, 17-14 on Miami. as they're going to go to the line. At the line here for Xavier is Jones, who is going to go to the line for the first time tonight, the big man. Tariq Jones from Bloomfield, Connecticut, went to Vermont Academy, averaging 10.5 points per game, 8 rebounds per game. He doesn't get the first one to go there. He gets the second one as Xavier now gets out to a 4-point lead. Makai Henry is going to take over the point guard duties once again. Haven't seen Darian Ringo since he's picked up those quick 2 fouls early in the first half, so he's probably going to sit for a couple more minutes, maybe get into the game later here, as Milos Jovic has entered the game at shooting guard for Miami as he worked his way into the paint. Haruna is going to start over the play and take a 3 as that one's off the backboard and in.
Yeah.
So I guess the bank's open here in Xavier.
Yeah, for sure. Bank is open. Kind of unorthodox look on that, but it went in.
Can't complain there as Miami pulls in with 1 as they're going to go to work on Abrams again. Jones goes up and he gets blocked by Abrams, and Miami's going to come and push it a little bit here, get it out to Larry, who's going to slow it up and get a high ball screen from Abrams. They're going to swing it out and get it down into the paint as they probably thought it was a walk there. Elijah McNamara is into the game for Miami. He was the one who almost walked in the middle of the paint. Jofer's going to come off the screen, work his way, and no shot there. Haruna's going to take another 3, and this one's off the front of the iron and no good. Rebound Jones as Xavier's going to push it up the floor. Kyle Caslin's going to catch it at the top of the key, swing it around to Ryan Lethbridge, and the 3 is going to be no good. That 3 going from Quentin Goodman. So Milos Jokic is going to drive and kick to Larry in the corner as that ball is batted away, but it's going to go off of Gooding in the corner. So that's where Miami's going to inbound the ball with 23 seconds left on the shot clock, 10-16 mark, as McNamara and Jovic are going to exit the game. Adaway and Delonte Brown coming in for Miami. Nike Savani also in the game for Miami. The freshman Larry really getting some PT early here and getting pushed to the test from Evansville, Illinois. 5'8" freshman guard filling in pretty well for Ringo, who picked up the quick fouls as Nike Spandy's going to get stolen away, and down the court is Xavier, and the floater's up and good there for Najee Marshall, who can get, he's a big 6'7" forward, but he can score the ball pretty well, and it's got a pretty good dribble drive there as he gets the floater to go, as Larry's going to work his way into the paint. It's going to get it blocked away, and here comes Xavier right down the court. Once again, floater up and good. Kyle Caslin gets that one to go, and they're going to call an and one. So he's going to go to the free throw line for 1, as the lead is now 5 for Xavier. So Miami's going to have to tread lightly here and make sure they keep this game close, as it looks like Larry's going to exit the game, and here comes Darian Ringo. Also, Ben Bowman's coming in for Alan Abrams.
Yeah, we're seeing a lot of activity on Redhawks with their substitutions kind of early, but I feel like Lowry was just kind of doing a little bit too much, and hopefully Ringo can be a little bit patient with his 2 fouls right now in this game.
As that free throw's up and good. So 6-point lead here for Xavier. Miami looking to answer and keep this lead at bay and try to cut into it, as Ringo brings it up the court, and Miami's going to work it around, trying to get out to Ben Bowman at the top of the key. He catches it, gives it out, dishes it off to Ringo, and Ringo's going to swing it back out to Nike Sabani, who's going to pick up the foul. Foul's going to go against Najee Marshall here, the sophomore from Atlantic City, New Jersey. Lots of guys, from around the country here on this Xavier roster. Only one player from the state of Ohio. So recruits coming in nationally here at Xavier, as Sabani doesn't get that 3 to go from the top of the key. Rebound there by Tyreek Jones, as Paul Shrugs is going to take it up the floor now for Xavier. He's going to work it in, dump it down to Jones. Jones is going to miss the free throw, get the ball back, working in the paint, and he's going to pick up a foul as he was mauled by a handful of Miami players there in amongst the trees. So he's going to go to the line once again for Xavier.
And you never like that situation for a defender. When someone's in the paint that long and you're letting them get second chances, it's just bound to lead to a foul, and that's what the situation the Redhawks are finding themselves into.
That first one is off the front of the iron, rolls off the back, and it's no good. He's 1 for 3 tonight from the charity strike. Second one up and away, and that one rattles in home for Xavier. So the lead now at 6 for Xavier at the 8:50 mark here in the first half. Sabani's going to work it down to Bowman at the free throw line. He's going to dish it off to Ringo for 3. It's going to be off the front and no good. Rebound there from Jones. So Jones racking up the rebounds pretty quick here. Already got 5 on the night. Xavier wasting no time getting it down the floor, dumping it down to Jones. It's stolen away by Ringo. He's going to try to get up the floor. His numbers are not good for him as he throws up a wild layup, and it's no good. And Xavier comes right back down the floor. 3 up and away by Ryan Waylage, and that one's good there as Coach Owens is going to want to take a timeout as the lead is now 10 here, 27-17 at the 8:12 mark, and Miami really is going to have to tread lightly once again as they do not want to get into a big deficit here against Xavier at home.
For sure. I mean, Xavier is a team that can definitely put up points, and they can put them up easily. I mean, we just saw that that 3 right there, and it's just because you were talking about recruits. They got talent. Like, they got a number of graduate students they have here, so they got age, and they got a number of 4-star recruits. So when you're playing in Xavier's game, that's going to allow this deficit just to get bigger, and Miami's just kind of got to find their style of play and get constant with it.
As that 3 was good from Ryan Waylage. That's another graduate transfer, 6'10" forward from Greenberg, Indiana, but he's a transfer from San Jose State as he had his career or season high, 17 points to get number 8 Auburn, as Xavier is just returning from the Maui Invitational and had a little bit of a rough go there, but finished off their trip to Maui, again, a win against the University of Illinois. So maybe they've really haven't showed much of a jet lag so far tonight, as it looks like they've gotten over that. Miami's looking a little bit sluggish, getting down on the floor, as they're really going to have to get back and try to stop Xavier from pushing it down the floor and getting those fast break points, and then they're going to have to do their job in the paint, as those Xavier guys like to bang down low and get those dump offs and easy buckets.
Yeah, I mean, Miami's just going to have to try and do a job of getting the ball out the paint, which is easier to say than be done, but a lot of times you just got one big man trying to do a whole lot of damage to stop them in the paint, and Miami doesn't have a ton of rim protectors. I mean, I consider maybe Abrams a rim protector, but Bowman forced in that position and seeing how much he had to do offensively, I don't know if that's going to be a situation that's going to bode well for the Redhawks.
Last meeting between the Musketeers and the Redhawks was the 2015-2016 season, as Xavier got the victory, 81-72. That was November 13th, in front of a standing room only crowd here at the Cintas Center. Both these teams used to play home series every season, and since about 15 years ago, haven't, and they played just about every couple years. So that's where we stand here, as Miami's trying to keep this series alive, as Xavier's won 11 out of the last 14 meetings. Last victory for Miami was at Millett Hall in 2005 in this series. Only team that has played Xavier more than Miami is the University of Dayton at 161 games. So that tells you pretty much that Miami and Xavier do have a little bit of a history, and it's been kind of diminished as of recent as Miami comes firing right out of the timeout. Delonte Brown's straight ahead three is no good, and here comes Ryan Waylage, who's going to jack up another three, and that one's going to be off the back of the iron and backboard. Rebound by Miami as they're going to push it up the floor once again. Ringo's going to now slow it down, call for a set. He's looking for a Brown and the wing, working for down there for Bowman, who's going to go to work on Hankins in the paint. And he gets his way in there very nicely and rolls it up and in off the backboard. So nice move there from Bam Bowman, who's really been the offensive catalyst so far for the Redhawks.
Yeah, on all their successful plays, it's all gone through him, whether he's scoring or he's pushing it back out. And that's the recipe the Redhawks are going to keep milking.
So Paul Shrugs is going to be the point guard for this possession for Xavier, as they like to switch it up, and he's going to take the three. He's going to go off the top of the backboard, and thought it was going to maybe be out of bounds, but here comes Ringo as he puts on the boosters and tries to get into the lane, picks up a foul, as it's going to be a foul on the floor there against Xavier. That layup there from Bowman's Miami's first points in just about 3 minutes. So Miami had a little bit of a dead period there as they hopefully can get back into this game. Down 8 points now, under the 7-minute mark here in the first half. Sabani's going to inbound it under the basket as Ringo's going to kick it out to Bowman. It's going to be knocked up away. Bowman's going to throw up a floater and one. They're going to call a block as Bam Bowman gets that one to go. And Bam Bowman really doing it all tonight. Really working it in and hitting the floater. And that's something you would expect from maybe Attaway or Nike Sabani, but Bam Bowman gets that floater to go and one as he's going to try to convert a three-point play here at the 6:49 mark and pull Miami within 5 as they're cutting that lead down, as that free throw is no good from Bam Bowman. But
yeah.
Bowman already with 14 points on the night.
And Bowman's deceiving. He's got a big frame, but he's got a nice touch on his shot.
As that jumper is no good there from Xavier. So here comes Ringo pushing it down the court once again, and Ringo really slows it down, but he can hit his sprint button pretty quick and get down the court as he's going to work it down to Bowman. Bowman's going to go to work once again on Hankins. He's got position, and that one just no good there. So we're going to get a foul on the floor. This one's going to go against Xavier, and I think it's going to go against Najee Marshall. Correction, that's going to go against Paul Shrugs of Xavier. Shrugs picks up his second personal of the night. So inbound there for Darren Ringo, who's going to kick it out to Bowman in the corner for three. It's no good, but rebound Delonte Brown. He kicks it out to Sabani, and now Brown's going to get it in the corner and drive and get that layup to go. So Miami pulls in within 4 points here at the 6-minute mark in the first half, and Xavier's went cold on the offensive side of the ball so far. Haven't had a point in the last 2 minutes as that ball's almost stolen away by Ringo. Top of the key is Gooding, who's going to drive and slam it home there for Xavier, as the crowd likes that. We get the first dunk of tonight.
And Miami kind of gave up on that play. When Ringo tried to get that steal, the defense kind of fell apart and got lazy, and he had a straight open lane to allow for that electric dunk on that play.
So Ringo's going to bring it up the court, kind of kicking it over, but he turns it over. Here comes Xavier down the floor as it's no good. Marshall wasn't able to get that layup to go as Kyle Castling picks up the scrap rebound and scores it. So 31-23 here at the 5:10 mark in the first half. Ringo's going to get out the...
Sorry about that. Just fortunate on that last play that Ringo didn't get a reach-in call. He already has 2 fouls on this game, and that would have been definitely something the Redhawks would have not liked.
A three by Sabani at the top of the key is no good. Xavier coming down the court. Quentin Goodman hurrying up. Now he's going to be stopped there by Ringo, and he's going to drive and get that layup to go. And just like that, Xavier extends their lead out to 10 as we're inside the 4:30 mark. So Miami really was chipping away at that lead, and now all of a sudden it's back to double figures.
And that's what basketball is. It's a game of runs. You can't get too proud of yourself, and you can't stay too down. And the Redhawks experienced some of it, and got to keep going at it.
As Lonte Brown's going to go to work in the paint, but he's going to get called for a travel there, as he really couldn't get any leverage down there. As that's going to turn it over to the Musketeers. Hankins is going to exit the game for Xavier. Tyreek Jones is going to enter once again, who lost 23 pounds in the offseason. And you can see him as he's getting up the court very well, as Gooding knocks in that 20-footer, as the lead has now extended to 12 here for the Musketeers, as Ringo's going to walk it up the court, working a little bit on Gooding. Van Bowman on the top of the key, out to Attaway for three, and it's no good. Here comes Gooding pushing the ball once again. Sabani's going to pick him up at the wing. He's going to kick it out in the corner for three. No good. We're going to get a foul, though, on the floor. Three no good from Keontae Kennedy. As Van Bowman's going to pick up the foul there, and that's something you don't want, as Bowman picks up his second of the night, as he's really been the spark plug for Miami so far. So at the 3:41 mark, we're going to take a quick break from the Cintas Center. Xavier 35, Miami 23. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Red Hawk Radio here, as Miami is down 23-35 to Xavier at the 3:41 mark, as Coach Owens is drawing up some plays down there vigorously, trying to get his team back into this game. And Miami really went through a scoring drought and started scoring once again. Xavier went through a scoring drought, and then Xavier started to fill up the bucket, as Miami is back down on a scoring drought, haven't scored a basket in 2:27. So Miami really looking to cut into this lead and get into halftime feeling a little bit better about themselves, as that free throw is good there from Tyreek Jones, who's really been an X factor so far tonight for the Musketeers. Looking for his 9th point on the night. And that's going to rattle out and around and no good. Rebound by Sabani, and here comes Makai Larry bringing it down the floor for the Redhawks. Working it on the top of the key to Sabani, who's going to take the jumper. It's going to be no good. Rebound from Jones, as he's going to get it out to his point guard, Quentin Goodman. Gooden's going to go to work and kick it out to Keontae Kennedy, who's going to get it out to Caslin. They're going to work it down to Jones, and a three-pointer is up and no good. Really nothing there, as Elias Harden can't connect on the three. He was 7 for 9 in Maui from the three-point line, and that one didn't look like he was a 7 for 9 shooter last week.
Hey, that's what the three ball is. You have some good ones, and you have some ones that are way off. That's the new basketball wave for you.
So nonetheless, Miami's going to work the ball around the three-point line, getting it out to Haruna, now out to Sabani in top of the key. Now they're going to go down to Abrams in the short corner. He's going to work his way into the paint, go to work, as he gets that one up, but no good. Rebound, Xavier, as they're working it down the court once again. Pump fake there from Kyle Castling. Getting it down to Jones, working on Abrams as he slams it home. Tariq Jones going to work on the grad transfer, Alec Abrams from Cal Polytech, and has really got the best of them tonight so far.
Yeah, he had no position on that one. He kind of was forced to get dunked on in that situation.
That ball is batted away, out of bounds. It's going to go off Xavier. So Miami's going to take the ball out on the baseline, or on the right in front of the Cintas Center part of the court, as Haruna's going to inbound it with 19 seconds to go on the shot clock as we approach the 2-minute mark here in the first half at the Cintas Center. Larry's going to work it around, get it to Haruna in the corner. He's going to pump fake and drive and lay up short. Rebound, jump ball. Miami's going to retain possession on this. Xavier got the last jump ball, so Miami's going to have the arrow pointing their way, and they're going to retain possession, but only 2 seconds left on the shot clock here, so Miami's going to have to inbound it and get a shot up quick.
I thought he was fortunate not to get like a self-pass call. I felt like that ball didn't even hit backboard or anything. And
it looks like Miami didn't even know that there was 2 seconds on the shot clock, as Sabani caught it and started dribbling down the lane, kicked it out to Haruna, and the shot clock expired. So shot clock violation there on the Redhawks. So Xavier's going to take it over here at the 147 mark. Xavier now to a 38-23 lead on Miami. And he's going to kick it to Gooden. Gooden's going to drive, and he's got nowhere to go. Get it out to the top of the key to Najee Marshall. Now they're going to go low to Tyreek Jones. He's going to work on Alec Abrams. The short corner is going to reset. Shot clock running down. Shot up and good, as Kyle Castling gets that one to go. The grad transfer from Columbia University gets that one to go. So 40-23 lead here, as Miami's really in dangerous territory, as Nike Sabani gets that one to go and kind of barks at the bench there over on the Xavier side, and they might call a technical here, as Travis Steele didn't take kindly to the words Sabani had there, as he hit that shot, turned to the Xavier bench, and was tripping a little bit there.
Sometimes when you hit a shot like that, you feel well-deserved, but I feel like that's the Nike that we should be seeing all game. I feel like he's been a little bit passive trying to play within the system, but he is a player that is very dangerous off the dribble, and he was able to take that long two on that last play, but that's the plays that Nike can and does make.
So we're going to get no call there, maybe a little bit of a warning from both sides, as you don't know what was said down there. We're way up here, no way we're hearing those guys, but you could tell from the body language that Sabani had some words to say there, but it's gonna have to have a couple more of those to get Miami back into this game. We're inside the minute mark here in the first half. Xavier's gonna kind of try keep away and now dump it down to Najee Marshall, who gets that one to go, averaging 12 points on the season. Dante Brown's gonna take a three. It's gonna be way long. Rattle off the backboard and rebound out to Kyle Castling. So we're gonna get another timeout here from Xavier, as clock is now at 31 seconds, 25 seconds to go on the shot clock. So Travis Steele trying to draw up a play right here and extend the lead even more for Xavier, 42-25. So not the start you really wanted here if you're Coach Owens in Miami.
Yeah, it's not the start they wanted, and I know the Redhawks are a team that thinks they can win this game, and basketball's a game of runs. Being down by 17 isn't impossible, but seeing a lot of the trends of the game with Miami shooting 35.5% from the field and Xavier shooting 57.1% from the field, those aren't recipes for success and a win for the Redhawks.
So 15-2 run here for the Musketeers the last 5 minutes, and that's pretty tough there. So you gotta be able to score with these Xavier Musketeers if you want to stay with them, as they can fill it up quick and they can fill it up from all different angles, as they've been working it down low on the dump offs, and they've been able to knock down some jump shots and a couple of threes to jump out to this 17-point lead. So Xavier's going to milk this clock as much as possible. Miami is only going to have about 4 seconds on the clock if they can get a stop here. Gooding's going to work it to the center of the court. Now he's going to go, and he's going to step back three. It's going to be no good. Rebound, Delonte Brown, 10 seconds on the clock. Zabani's going to go up the floor, and he's going to pull it for three. It's going to be no good. He's going to fall down. Bruno with a rebound, up for a floater, and he gets that one to go. So that's going to end the half there. Miami ends it on a little bit of a positive note. So the lead is up to 42-27 for Xavier. Any thoughts here from you, Hans, after this first half here for Miami?
After this first half for Miami, I felt like we've seen like two different Miami offenses. One that's been effective where they're swinging the ball down low to Bowman and he's able to make decisions, and the other ones where they're sputtering between multiple guards with either Larry, Brown, or Sabandi, and it hasn't really been effective, and that's led to the deficit that they have in the first half so far.
Absolutely, as Miami really got off to a good start, and we're staying with them, but just really went cold from the floor, and it's really kind of hurt them a little bit, as they have been able to stick with Xavier, but a little bit of a promising end to the half there, coming away with a late basket, as they are going to have to fill it up a lot more than they did in the first half. So 42-27 here, as Xavier is comfortably in the lead here at home. So you're listening to Red Hawk Radio. We'll be right back after a little bit of a halftime break.
A ranger station.
I'd like to report a bear hug.
Okay.
I put out my campfire and Smokey Bear hugged me.
So you drowned the fire, you stirred it, drowned it again, and felt that it was cold?
Uh-huh.
Yep, he's just letting you know you did good.
Bear hug from Smokey Bear. Status update.
I'm gonna let you go now. There are many ways to start a fire, but one sure way to put it out. Learn how you can do your...
that's what you are. I find myself out of control. I don't know why you've been so cruel. I found myself down in the hole. Something to say. Going back in time. Now it's fine, I'm on my own again. But you're on my mind. Broken me and I feel just the pain. You grab so low. So can you play whatever you did to me? Now it's fine, I'm on my own again. Every step I make, every tears I shed, every hit I take, all the things you say. Forever and ever, you'll be like a scar on my face. I find myself out of control. I don't know why you've been so cruel. I found myself down in the hole. Something to say. Come back in time. Now it's fine, I'm on my own again. But you're on my mind. Broken me and I feel just the pain. You grab so low. So can you play whatever you did to me? Now it's fine, I'm on my own again. Get on my own again. Drifting to the darkest sky, I can see the light in your eyes. It's buried beneath your cracking grin, fighting to feel the fire again. Looking hypnotized, drowning in the taste of your eyes. Splendor will shine nowadays within. Lost in the life that you live in. I can see the
Welcome back for the second half here at the Cintas Center as Miami is trying to get back into this game against the Xavier Musketeers, but they got their work cut out for them as Xavier jumped out to a 42-28 lead as we're ready to get this second half started, as Coach Owens is going to give some final words to his players and try to motivate them to get the ball into the basket and try to stop the opposing team. Pretty simple, but easier said than done, Hans.
For sure, it's easier said than done. If you want to look at a highlight of the first half, it definitely would be the play they've had from Bam Bowman, who led both sides with 14 points. So if there's something you want to keep going to or hoping to get some more from, is try and milk as much you can get from Bam Bowman and hope to slow down this offense from the Xavier Musketeers.
Yeah, on the other side there, you got to be able to stop Najee Marshall and Tyreek Jones, as Jones has really had a field day down there low with those high percentage dump offs, rebounds, and putbacks. Really gotten to work on Abrams and it's gotten to work on Brown and Bowman, and it's really nothing you could really do when you're kind of outmatched, as those guys are pretty big bodies down there. Zach Hankins also getting in there in action, 6'11". Jones also 6'9", but he plays big. He's about 235, so that's a pretty big body to handle down low for Miami, a team that's not the tallest team in the world, but they can get down the floor and fill it up. But they got to be able to score with this Xavier Musketeers basketball team, as we're going to get underway here, as Xavier's going to have the ball first, working the ball around the wing here, getting it out to Paul Shrugs, now getting it down low to Tyreek Jones, who's going to go to work. Miami's going to pull a double team there. Ringo steps in as Gooding's going to kick out to Jones as he's going to drive, and a little bit of contact there, but he gets that layup to go, and Miami's going to walk it up the floor here, not in any type of rush. Trying to get a setup play here. Ringo's looking for high ball screen. He's going to call off Bowman. Bowman's trying to get set up down low, working it away to Attaway. Now out to Sabani. Sabani is going to drive and kick out to Bowman, who's going to go up and no good. Gets the rebound. Going to work down there. Goes up. And no call there, as straight up and down was Jones. Good defense there. Here comes Xavier down the floor really quick, and man, they can get it down the court really quick.
And Bowman on that last possession, he just came up small. Like, he had multiple positions, but the defender just had a better shot on him.
So Jones working on Bowman there. Bowman gets the best of him, making sure Jones doesn't get leverage down there in the paint, so that's no good. Rebound there from Bowman, and here comes Bowman in the corner, pump fake. Now he's going to work on Jones, who tries to get the charge to go, but they're going to call a blocking foul. So that's a little bit of a suspect move there from Jones. He's a little bit bigger than Bam Bowman. Kind of a flop, but Miami benefits from that, as they're going to call a block, and Attaway's going to inbound it in the baseline. They're going to get it out to Ringo, and we're going to get an off-ball foul there on Nike Sabani. So Xavier's going to take over possession. 8:27 mark here in the second half at the Cintas Center. Gooding's going to be picked up there by Darian Ringo at half court. Now they're going to run their set, working it around, and Gooding's going to get Ringo to move off the ball, and they're going to dish it off to Jones as he gets up into the paint and gets that one to go. 18-point lead here as Ringo pulls up for three off the back of the iron, but rebound Sabani, as he's going to pull it up at the top of the key. He's going to go to work and now kick it off to Ringo at the wing. Vontae Brown coming off a screen. Kick it out to Ben Bowman in the wing. He's going to be picked up by Jones. He's going to go to work, spin move, and foul there on the play as Van Bowman's going to go to the line.
And a fortunate foul for Bowman on that situation, because that's not the play you want. You don't want Bowman stretched out from the 3, trying to drive and make his own moves towards the lane. So smart on him to get contact, but that's not the kind of plays you want from the Redhawks.
Bowman 1 for 3 from the line tonight. First one up and no good. And Bowman can knock down those threes, but usually in a kind of like a pick and pop situation. He's not the type of guy who's going to shoot a long 3 off the dribble. So that's not what you exactly want, but it kind of worked out for them there. See if you can come away with at least a point off the foul. So the second one up is in a way, and nothing but net on that one. Checking into the game here is Alec Abrams, the grad transfer from Cal Poly, coming in for Van Bowman. He's going to get a breather. Ringo picking up Gooding full court as he's going to drive into the lane, looking for somewhere to get it out as he's smothered a little bit. Now he's going to get it out to Zach Hankins, who's going to go to work once again on Alec Abrams, and nothing but net there as he worked his way into the paint and gets the jump hook to good. 48-29 now at the 17-minute mark here at Xavier.
And yeah, in those situations right there, the Redhawks just got to smother that paint somehow, because one-on-one's just not going to cut it for them.
Sabani with a step back, Jay, no good. Abrams had the rebound for a second, then he lost it. Here comes Xavier down the floor as the original layup is no good, but tipped up and put in there for Xavier.
And just wear the red shirts on that last play. They were kind of smart to lay off him not to get a foul, but allowing for the second chance bucket on that is not what's going to let the Redhawks get back in this game.
Caslin is the one who picks up that rebound and tip up and good. And Caslin has a quiet 9 points so far tonight for Xavier, as this ball is going to be stolen away and slammed home from Najee Marshall, as the Redhawks are really in trouble now, down 52-29, as Coach Owens says, I've seen enough. He's going to want to talk it over here with his team, as this game is quickly getting out of hand here at the 16:09 mark at the Cintas Center. So what does Miami really have to do here? I mean, I'm sure if you had the answers, you'd be down there. But what do you think that Miami really has to do to try to get within punching distance of Xavier?
Offensively, I can't really tell you, because they've tried different looks. I mean, offensively, honestly, when they get open 3 balls, they have to hit them. At this rate, you got a lot of points to kind of catch up with. But defensively, they got to find a way to clog that paint. I feel like Xavier's been able to clog the paint because they're not trusting Miami shooters. You'll see many times where they have a big man down there and there'll be 3 people loaded in that paint. Miami's going to have to try and do that, because one-on-one is not going to cut it with Abrams or Bowman. It's kind of like Miami's playing out with 4 guards. Brown is 6'7", but he doesn't play like a true forward. So they got 4 guards out there and 1 center doing a whole lot of work in the post, and it's not a good situation for the Redhawks.
Yeah, like we were talking about at halftime, usually this is how it goes down when you're playing a little bit of a bigger basketball school than yourself. You're gonna kind of be overmatched a little bit down in the front court rather, as they can really pound you down low. And Xavier's started off trying to pound it down low and had a lot of success, and then Miami double teamed down there, and they opened up the jump shots for Xavier, and they've knocked them down and been able to get out in transition, as Miami has went cold there, as the 6-0 run so far for Xavier to start the half has really helped their lead now, as they're at the 52 mark so far, so on pace to score a bunch of points. Miami only at 29, trying to get some more offense going as Coach Owens down there, and gotta play the defensive side of the ball as well.
Yeah, and Miami's a team that puts up points, so this is something that they're not really used to as well. But a lot of it comes from the 3 ball, and currently they're shooting 21.4% from 3, and that's not going to add to their point total. So when you're struggling from three and you can't get in the inside, you're going to have a game like they're having so far.
Both these teams coming in tonight, 3-3. Both have had a good amount of success. Miami coming back from the Bahamas a couple weeks ago, only winning one of those 3 games. And Xavier had a little bit tough of a go in the Mally Invitational, but playing some tough composition, like we mentioned earlier, playing number 8 in Auburn, and got the win against Big Ten Fighting Illini. And they also dropped a couple other games, one to San Diego State, one that they had a big lead out early and let that game slip away. So we're going to get back into the action here as Larry has entered the game for Miami at point guard, as Haruna is going to drive and pick up the foul, and he's going to go to the line for the first time tonight.
And a nice little move by Haruna to kind of force the defense to foul him on that situation. A little bit of hesitation on that dribble and gets a foul call. Hopefully get some points for the Redhawks.
So we're at the 15:55 mark at the Cintas Center. We're getting to the under 16 timeout. Miami trailing Xavier 52-29. You're listening to Red Hawk Radio. We'll be right back.
Hundo P.
Adopt US Kids presents What to Expect When You're Expecting a Teenager. Learning the lingo.
Hundo P. Hundo P. Adjective. Short for being 100% sure or certain. As in, if we get a puppy, I'll Hundo P always walk it.
You don't have to speak teen to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same. Visit adoptuskids.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
This is how we do every day. We be grinding, and if you wanna come and text us,
If you love them enough to turn off your music and pretend like their music is your music,
This is Mommy's jam.
then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the right seat to make sure they're in the right car seat.
Let's play it again.
Check today at nhtsa.gov/the right seat. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Adopt US Kids presents What to Expect When You're Expecting a Teenager. Learning the lingo.
Goat.
3, 2, 1. Oh no. Which button am I?
When every second counts, you can't wing it.
Guys, a little help up here?
In a home fire, you may have less than 2 minutes to get out. So make a family home fire escape plan. Then practice home fire drills at least twice a year so everyone knows what to do when they hear. Prepare your family at ready.gov/fire drill. Brought to you by FEMA, the Ad Council, and Make Safe Happen.
this is the rhythm of the night. Oh yeah. This is the rhythm of my life. Oh yeah.
Welcome back to the Cintas Center, as the rhythm of the night so far has really been with the Xavier Musketeers, as they've really been able to fill it up quick and pretty easily here, as they're out to a 52 to now 30 lead, as Haruna knocks in his first free throw, as that second one is no good. Rebound there by Xavier, as they're going to push it up the floor once again, this time taking their time a little bit. Najee Marshall's going to kick it out, and pump fake there in the corner from Eliza Harding, and that three is going to be no good, as Larry's going to push it down the floor once again. Nothing doing there. He's going to be picked up by Elias Harding. He's going to get it out to Sabani, who's going to be defended by Kennedy. Sabani's going to drive and kick to Haruna for three, and he knocks that one home. So Haruna, 4 points Miami's last 4 points come from him as we get another three here from Xavier. That one's no good. Elias Harding on the three there. Here comes Sabani up the court, working as he's going to kick it out to Larry, who's going to take a quick jumper from the short corner, and that one's going to rattle around and no good. Rebound there from Najee Marshall, who's just going to take it up the court between the legs, and he's going to dump it off to Gooding. And a lot of these Xavier guys not afraid to just go down the court themselves. They're long, and they can not afraid to handle the ball. Three up, away, and no good there from Marshall. Rebound, Larry. He's going to push it up, and he's picked up by Gooding. Out to Delonte Brown in the wing for three. No good. Rebound, Abrams, and he's knocked down there by Zach Hankins, the big body graduate transfer from Ferris State.
And I'm shocked with kind of how Brown's shooting has been from the three-point line. I mean, he came into this game shooting 48% from three on 29 attempts, and I don't think he's made a three at all this game. So I don't know if it was just a hot little start in these first 6 games, but he hasn't been able to find the bottom of the net today.
So we're getting another timeout here at the 14:22 mark. Miami cutting in a little bit to the lead. Now the lead's at 19 points, 52-33 for the Redhawks. So chipping away a little bit here, and they're going to need a lot more than they've been getting so far this half.
And then sometimes in games like this, you know, you don't want to throw in the towel, but it lets you kind of know what substitutions work and what players kind of mesh with each other. We're seeing a lot of minutes from Abrams right now, and I'd like to see them, you know, give him the ball a little bit in the post and see how he can work. And seeing a lot of Haruna coming off the bench with him scoring 9 points. So sometimes you got to look at positives in games like this. You're not throwing in the towel, but you got to see what plays work and kind of what situations don't.
So look ahead for both teams here as they're going to continue non-conference play. Xavier's got to get a game this Saturday against the Horizon League, Oakland University, and then they're going to take on fellow Mac School, Ohio at home once again, and then they got the crosstown rivalry with Cincinnati, as that's always an exciting game, as everybody remembers a couple years ago that big brawl that happened in that game. Miami has Wilberforce at home this Saturday, and then they travel to Wright State next Wednesday, and then they got Purdue, Fort Wayne. So not going to get any easier there, as they have another rivalry game coming up with Wright State traveling there. It's a tough place to play. As Aruna's going to drive and kick out to Larry. He's going to get that shot blocked. So here comes Xavier down on the fast break. They're going to get out to Hankins, who's just going to turn around and slam that one home.
It's because you see Redhawk players pointing. They're pointing in the corners, but they leave the paint wide open for the easy deuce. Miami's
transition defense definitely not up to par there, as Bowman's going to catch it out of the top of the key. Now he's going to dish it off to Sabani, who's going to pull up for three, and that one's going to be good. So Sabani trying to get his team going, trying to get himself going, and that's somebody who could really provide a spark here, but Miami's really going to have to start pressing the gas pedal at the 13:30 mark here. Now it's 54-36. Xavier's going to work it around the wings. Now out to Gooding on the left wing, as he's going to get it down to Marshall, who's going to kick it out. Now it's back to Gooding in the top of the key. Three up away from Caslin, and that one's going to be no good. Rebound by Larry, as he's going to take it himself, pushing up the floor, dish it off to Sabani at the near corner. He's going to get it picked away, batted around, and it's going to go off Xavier. Sabani getting a little bit too cute there on the dribble and gets that knocked away there from Najee Marshall, who can go out and guard anybody. That's what Travis Steele has said about him. 6'7", forward sophomore, not afraid to get out and guard Nike Sabani, only standing at 6'3". Bowman going to work there in the post as they were trying to get it down to him, but it's knocked away there from Jones. Here comes Xavier down the floor. as they're going to dump it off to Jones for the layup. He's going to miss the layup and go down, but Van Bowman's just going to wrap him up there, as we're going to see if this was on the floor or if Jones is going to go to the line for another time, as he's taken a couple visits to the line tonight. It looks like they're going to call it on the floor, as Miami's going to sub in and out a couple players. Abrams going to come in for Miami. Elijah McNamara is going to come in for Miami along with Milos Jovic, the junior from Serbia. He's going to pick up Marshall in the paint. And Marshall's going to get the best of him, and he's going to breeze by the Miami defense, lay that up and good. 56 now for Xavier, as they're out to a 20-point lead here at the 12:15 mark in the second half. Larry's going to drive and go up for the layup, and that one's going to roll off the front of the iron and no good. Here comes Xavier down the court. Kick out to Kennedy, who's going to dribble it out back himself. Now out to Nigel Marshall. Dump it down to Tyreek Jones, who's going to go to work on Abrams. Abrams does a good job defensive there, forcing Jones to settle for the jumper, as that one's no good. Rebound Jovic, and Haruna's going to take the long three, and that one's going to be no good. So back and forth here. Both these teams looking for a basket.
Struggling for a basket, we might add it.
Gooden's going to reset, get it out to Waylage, who's going to take the top of the key three, and that one's going to be no good. Haruna is going to take it down the floor.
Oh.
Haruna's going to get out to Abrams, and he's going to convert down into the paint. Nice pass there from Miami.
Yeah, nice dribble drive on that play. A lot more you'd like to see, hoping like from wings from Sabani and Haruna as well.
That one's no good there, as Quentin Gooden is can't get that one to go. Jovic called for the ball in the corner there. Miami missed him. Haruna's now going to drive once again. He's going to go up and get fouled there. And Quentin Goodwin's going to pick up the foul there, as he has his arms stretched out, asking what he did wrong there. But nonetheless, Haruna, the senior, from southern Idaho, via Niger, who missed last season due to a visa miscommunication, had his visa pulled and couldn't make it back to the U.S. And by the time he got back, Miami only had about 15 games left in the season. Jack Owens gave Haruna an option to either play last season, finish out the season, or apply for a waiver from the NCAA, and got the waiver from the NCAA and got another year eligibility. So Haruna contributing a good amount tonight, and good to see him, as it was a tough situation last year for him.
Yeah, and he's a interesting player. He's one of the older players on this team. He's been around this Miami for a long time, but interesting thing is he actually knows 4 different languages. So he speaks English, obviously, and French. And I don't know these other 2, but we have Hausa and Zarma. So I don't know what it is when you speak 4 languages. All I know is bilingual and trilingual.
It's a very smart guy down there, as he's going to go to the line and try to convert free throws, which should be a cakewalk for a guy who knows all those different languages.
You'd hope so.
I think he's approaching 26 years old. He's one of the older guys on the court, no doubt about it.
And that's how he was able to get that foul call on that last play. That was kind of a veteran move. You see moves like that in the NBA from players like James Harden, and it just frustrates people. A little bit of the hesitation on the pull-up and gets the defender in an awkward situation where the defender's not really moving, but you kind of pin their hand in there and get you a chance to get two attempts at the stripe.
Kind of an old man's game there, trying to get the eager young guns to jump up in the air, get them out of position, and pick up the foul. And I'm sure those guys poke some fun out of him, being a little bit older than the rest of the guys, especially how young of a team Miami is. Only average year experience for Miami is 1 year. lots of freshmen and sophomores, which is definitely good for Coach Owens for the future. But last year, really only getting their feet wet as they really started a lot of freshmen with Attaway and Savani and Brown. And only a handful of seniors on the Miami's roster this year, and not a lot of them get a lot of playing time. Abrams kind of an exception, the grad transfer. Xavier on the other side of the ball is also an inexperienced. Average experience for them is a year and a half, so definitely a young team and a bright future for first-year coach Travis Steele. So Haruna's going to go up for his first free throw and knock that one through, as Miami's shooting 43% so far on the night from the charity strike. Second one is up and good. So Haruna, the man of many languages, knocks that one through. Miami's going to pull out the full court press now, trying to turn over Xavier a little bit, try to get back into this game as they're down 16 points now. Or 16. They're going to get it down to Jones. Abrams working his hardest down there to keep Jones out of the paint, but he's going to work his way in the paint, get some leverage, and go up and get fouled. So Abrams fouls Jones, and might be for the better, as Jones has really got the best of him so far tonight.
And not much for Abrams to do in that situation, but I kind of like to see kind of the spirit down there on defense. Abrams got him one-on-one, but you're seeing a lot of actions from other Redhawks trying to disrupt it. So that's kind of the play call you need down there with these big bodies on Xavier.
Jones shooting 50% tonight. Gets that one to go. Now 4 for 7 from the free throw line. 12 points on the night. Pretty good night for him, especially for a guy who only averages 10 points per game. So he's going to probably pick up a couple more points before the night's done, and he converts both of those free throws. So definitely want to see your big man, if you're Coach Travis Steele, knocking home those free throws and converting. So Runa's going to pump fake, get into the lane, nowhere to go now because the ball's stolen away. He's going to pick up the ball and pull up for three. It's going to be no good. Rebound Xavier. And guess who it is? Tyreek Jones, who's having a great night.
And he's just a huge focus for Xavier. I know you talked about earlier the weight loss the weight he has lost, and Steele talked about that. His weight limited him to only 15 minutes a game last year, but him being more in that 230, 235 range allows him to play a lot of minutes and be a huge focal point for the Xavier offense.
Yeah, double-double tonight for him as Paul Scruggs gets around the defender and lays it up and in as the lead's back to 20, 60 to 40 here at the 9.5-minute mark of the second half, as Darren Ringo's going to pick up a foul on the floor. Nike Sabani, Jalen Attaway ready to check in for the Redhawks. Haruna and Milos Jovic is going to exit the game. Nike Sabani's going to inbound the ball for the Redhawks. Get it out to Ringo at the top of the wing as he's going to pull it out to the top of the key now. Get it out to Sabani in the far wing. He's going to swing it out to Attaway. McNameer's trying to go to work there. Unable to get it to them is Attaway. Now Ringo's going to kick it out to Sabani, who's going to pull it for three. And that one looked good, but off the front of the iron, around, and no good. Rebound Xavier as they're going to work their way down the court. Paul Scruggs is going to dish it off to Jones in the middle of the paint, going to work on Abrams. Gives a little shoulder shrug, and Abrams, good defense there as that shot is no good. Rebound Abrams out to Sabani, who's going to work his way down the court. Pull up for about a 30-footer, but no good on the jump shot there from Sabani. 8.5 minutes to go now in the game here at the Cintas Center.
And sometimes when you see a good defensive play by Abrams, you'd hope he'd get rewarded on the offensive end. He was kind of in position, and that can sometimes be deflating for a big man to do so good on defense and have to run back and forth and not get, rewarded.
It's a little bit of the ball bouncing around all over here. Scrum down on the floor in the middle of the court at the top of the X here. And we're going to get a jump ball. Possession arrow is pointing in the direction of the Redhawks. So Miami will get the ball back here, trying to do as much damage as possible and just keep on fighting. That's exactly what you want to see. If Redhawks probably won't be able to get back into this game here, but if they can just keep the fight going, they can learn from this experience as against a nice, very tough opponent from the Big East here.
Yeah, I mean, there's such things as moral victories, You see some things, you see some plays that work out well, and hopefully when you play a Big East opponent like this, you can see the negatives and positives from it.
So Miami's going to work it around at the top of the three-point line, and that shot's going to be no good. Down the court is Xavier, as that ball's going to be tipped away by Alec Abrams, and we're going to get another TV timeout here at the Cintas Center. So at the 7:52 mark here, Miami down 20 points. You're listening to Red Hawk Radio. We'll be right back.
To protect his family from disaster, Steve used his camera phone.
Done.
By taking pictures of his important documents, Steve can always have them stored online. Learn more simple disaster prep tips at ready.gov. A message from FEMA and the Ad Council.
180 over 111, and I had a stroke. I couldn't speak or walk.
150 over 90, and I had a stroke.
This is what high blood pressure sounds like. You might not feel its symptoms, but the results from a stroke are far from silent. Get back on your treatment plan or talk with your doctor to create a plan that works for you. Go to loweryourhbp.org.
Head to toe, everything's changed.
Brought to you by the American Stroke Association, American Medical Association, and the Ad Council.
In the wake of a disaster, what one thing can you send that will help people the most? A blanket, a tent, a sandbag, a doctor. Actually, if you send a monetary donation, you send all these things. Even a small donation can make a big impact and can quickly become exactly what people affected by disaster need most.
In the wake of a hurricane, your monetary donation can make a huge difference to those in need. To donate, visit supporthurricanerelief.org. That's supporthurricanerelief.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
GTG, BRB, OMW, be there in a few. You may think that these kinds of texts are fine because of their length, and you can easily send them at a stoplight. But no, answering one text can take your attention away from the road for 5 seconds. And traveling at 55 miles an hour, that's enough time to travel the length of a football field. Make good decisions, don't text and drive.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org, a message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, Noise, and the Ad Council.
Miami trying to chip away at this lead here as they find themselves in a 20-point hole at the 7:52 mark here at Xavier University. Coach Jack Goins going to break the huddle as his team still giving a little bit of fight here as they really have to ratchet it up here and try to get the ball in the hoop as they've given up 22 points off turnovers, and that's definitely not something you want to see from the Redhawks. So Xavier's going to inbound the ball on their own baseline, get it out to Najee Marshall, who goes up and picks up the foul and converts the layup. And gives a little shake there for the fans. And he's going to go to the line trying to convert the three-point play the old-fashioned way. Xavier shooting 70% from the free throw line tonight as he gets that one to go. Najee Marshall, 17 points on the night. Really been key guy along with Jones so far for the Musketeers, as Elijah McNamara knocks down his first jump shot of the night. A freshman from Pinkerton, Ohio, averaging 2 points per game so far, 2 rebounds. So working in the freshman a little bit tonight is Jack Owens. Xavier working the ball around as Waylage is going to come up short on the 3-point shot, as McNamara is going to catch it at the top of the key. Now dish it off to Attaway, who's going to get his pocket picked. And here comes Xavier down the floor, trying to cross the court there was Paul Scruggs, who's going to drive and get that layup to go. So cut through the middle of the lane like butter, like a knife through butter there, and gets that one to go, as leads now out to 65-42 for Xavier. So Miami just trying to chip away as much as possible. Probably not be able to catch the Musketeers, but can cut this game a little bit closer, as that 3 is no good by Delonte Brown, and we're going to get a foul on Miami, and it looks to be against Jalen Attaway, who's going to pick up his first foul of the night. Coming out of the game is Najee Marshall, who might be done for the evening, as he's going to come out of the game 7 for 10 from field goals and 2 for 3 from the 3-point tonight. 17 points, 6 rebounds. So good night there from Najee Marshall, the sophomore from Atlantic City, New Jersey. Attended Hargrave Military Academy in Virginia. As that 3 is good there from Ryan Waylage, the other graduate transfer from San Jose State. Knocks that one through, averaging 8 points per game. Having a pretty good night so far. 6 points, 2 for 5 from 3. Ringo knocks in 3-pointer.
Actually getting his first points of the night on that last play.
Ringo tries to pick his pocket and get another set of points for him, but comes up short. As rebounds by Sabani, who's going to push it down the court. Miami doesn't really have numbers, though, so he's going to pull it out. Defense there from Paul Scruggs, as Sabani's going to fire away. Rebound by Attaway, who's going to go up and slam it home, as Red Sea opened up there in the middle of the paint, and Attaway took advantage of that.
Hey, it's finally a chance Redhawks get a nice rim run chance, as Xavier's had a few this whole night.
Attaway gets his first points of the night, so definitely not what you want to see from the Redhawks. Is you really, if I would have said that the Redhawks would pull out the victory tonight, I would have said that you would have had to have big night from Nike Zabani, Attaway, and a couple other guys, and that's really hasn't been the case at all, as Van Bowman is really the only one who's got it going offensively, as Xavier gets another bucket there from Paul Scruggs from Indianapolis, prolific prep in California.
Yeah, I'd say the names of the people who've shown up tonight were Bowman and Haruna, and those aren't names you'd tend to hear in a game where the Redhawks are closer, got to win.
So that McNamara 3 is no good. It looks like some of the fans are going to call it quits here and head for the exits, trying to beat the traffic. Pretty good crowd on hand here just north of downtown Cincinnati on the campus of Xavier University. Very nice facility here. As that shot is no good from Gooding. Miami's going to go down the court, and they're going to pick up a traveling violation. So at the 3:52 mark, Miami in a lot of trouble here, down 70-46 to Xavier. So we're going to take a quick break. You're listening to Red Hawk Radio.
That's That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know that now there's a breakthrough low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early, and it only takes 60 seconds. You stop smoking, now start screening. For an easy quiz to see if you're eligible, visit SaveByTheScan.org. It could save your life.
In the wake of a disaster, what one thing can you send that will help people the most? A blanket, a tent, a sandbag, a doctor. Actually, if you send a monetary donation, you send all these things. Even a small donation can make a big impact and can quickly become exactly what people affected by disaster need most.
In the wake of a hurricane, your monetary donation can make a huge difference to those in need. To donate, visit supporthurricanerelief.org. That's supporthurricanerelief.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
Hi, we're the Goo Goo Dolls. We're fortunate that our daughters have what they need to grow and learn. But that isn't the case for nearly 13 million kids in the U.S. that struggle with hunger.
Childhood hunger is a heartbreaking reality that Feeding America is working to change. Each year, the Feeding America network of food banks rescues billions of pounds of good food that would have gone to waste and provides it to families and children in need.
You can help kids in need in your community by visiting feedingamerica.org.
Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
Sweet strawberry icing. You're in Goodwill, and just past that vintage denim jacket you spot miniature donut earrings. You lean in. Ah, that's the scent of shopping success. Because at Goodwill, every item you buy funds local job training and more. So bring home those donut earrings and bring home so much good to your community. Goodwill. Bring good home. Brought to you by Goodwill and the Ad Council.
Welcome back to the Cintas Center here on the campus of Xavier University as the Musketeers are continuing the roll here, up big on their Miami Redhawks, 70-46. Not exactly the night that Coach Owens and the Redhawk faithful were hoping for, as they wanted to renew this rivalry and get a win against the close proximity Xavier Musketeers, but wasn't in the cards tonight for Coach Jack Owens and the Redhawks.
Yeah, you can say that again. I mean, from a night like this, one thing you can look forward to is they have a lot of tape to probably critique. I don't know. I don't have a ton of positives to say. I mean, we've talked about Bowman, of course, and Haruna as some key players in this game, but like I said, I don't have a lot to kind of point out.
Yeah, absolutely. Tough night, like we said. Really needed a big night from big scorers for Miami, Sabani and Attaway, and to an extent Ringo, but really haven't got much from those guys tonight. As that drive is good layup from Keontae Kennedy, freshman from Colorado, gets that one to go, who's had a pretty decent night, only averaging 2 points a game, but had his name called a good amount of times tonight. As that shot is no good for Miami, it's going to be batted away, and Miami's going to retain possession there. 30 seconds on the shot clock for Miami at the 3:24 mark. Larry's going to get it out to Haruna, who's going to drive and scoop and score. Very nice move there from Haruna. Has gotten into the paint and got that one to go.
Finished with a left hand too, so he's been real aggressive tonight. Interesting to see.
Xavier's going to slow it down here, weave it around the three-point arc. Shrugs is going to pull up for three and knocks that one home. Paul Shrugs not letting up there as he knocks in his 12th point of the night. Miami wasting no time getting down the court. Ben Bowman catches at the wing, dips it off to Haruna, and Bowman's going to think about the three in the corner, but pull up, and that one's going to be short. Rebound from Delonte Brown out to Larry. Haruna now out to Bowman, who's going to pull up from three once again. It's going to be off the back of the iron. Rebound Larry at the same elbow as he's going to drive, kick out to Delonte Brown for three, and that one's going to go home for Miami. So third time's a charm there for Miami as they crashed the boards there and got that third chance opportunity to go. Pump fake there from Shrugs, who's going to get it out to Dontarius James. Kennedy's going to go to work. Now he's going to step back and knock that one in, and that was a nice move there from Kennedy, working on Elijah McNamara. Keontae Kennedy from Colorado, the freshman, 6'5" guard, is going to probably have a good career here at Xavier.
Yeah, I'd say so. He's really talented. He was actually, when he came out of high school, he was actually ranked in the top 100 by ESPN and other rivals groups. He's just kind of been hidden here at Xavier, and like you said, he's had a lot of minutes today, and will hopefully have a long career here at Xavier.
Logging 20 minutes tonight. Leading the way is Quentin Goodwin, who's got 33 minutes on the night. She's exited the game probably for good at the 135 mark here. Miami down 77 to 51. Haruna's going to go to the line. Haruna unable to convert that first free throw. Second one gets it to go for Haruna. Miami shooting 50%, 55% now from the free throw line. So also not a good sign for Miami's scoring attack. Only hitting about 50% of their free throws tonight. Larry's going to pick up at the half court. Kennedy at the wing. Three from James as he knocks that one through. Dontarius James extended the lead out to 80 to 52 as Elijah McNamara can't get that three to go, but rebound Miami. Larry's going to take another three. Rebound Hankins as we're under the minute mark here at the Cintas Center. Three by Xavier is no good. On the shot there was Leighton Strand, the junior.
Oh, no.
Now we got a breakaway slam there from Xavier. Keontae Kennedy, like we mentioned, going to have a bright future here. Getting some points here in the garbage time at the Cintas Center. Jofic pump fakes and kicks it out to McNamara, who knocks that one through. So that's going to do it here from the Cintas Center as the clock continues to tick down inside the 10-second mark. Miami's going to fall tonight 82 to 55. Not exactly the night you wanted to see if you're the Redhawks, as they really didn't put forth their best effort this evening here in Cincinnati, and going to have to wait until at least next year to get another crack at Xavier, as they are going to fall to 3-4 on the season. Xavier's going to improve to 4-3 on the season, as I'm sure they are not going to have a problem at all this year. Probably going to go to the tournament as they usually do. And Miami's going to have their work cut out for them, but a pretty good learning experience for Miami. You would have liked them to stay a little bit more competitive tonight, but really just didn't have the juice tonight here against Xavier.
No, I mean, I agree with you. I mean, looking at final percentages, Miami only shot 33% from the field, and they just weren't able to get anything going. And they're playing a more talented team who had better athletes and better scorers. And when you come with a situation like that and you're not on your A game, you're going to kind of get blown out on the opponent's home court.
So we're going to wrap it up here at the Cintas Center. Decent effort put forth by the Redhawks, but unable to really stay with the Big East Xavier Musketeers. But tough bounce for the Redhawks. They're definitely going to learn from it. And Coach Jack Owens, I'm sure he's not very happy. But it's also a tough bounce, though, when you got to play those big guys down low. And I think those guys down low put forth their best efforts on the defense side of the ball, but was unable to get enough points to stay with Xavier here at the Cintas Center. So for Kenny Schierlinger, Hans Juste, thank you for tuning in with us on Redhawk Radio. We'll be bringing you all the basketball action from the Miami Redhawks, maybe throwing a couple of women's games this year as well. So good night, everybody, from the Cintas Center. Thank you for tuning in. Make sure you subscribe to Redhawk Radio on YouTube and tune in for our next broadcast. So stay tuned. Have a good night, everybody.